Awesome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is, wherever you are. Thank you very much for coming back to the Think2Thrive podcast. As always, my name is Adrian, and today I have with me somebody I didn't think I'd have with me, but thank you very much. And to introduce you to a very distinguished gentleman called Skyler Jett. Skyler is in the music industry, or has been for quite a long number of years. And before we started speaking this morning, Skylar sent me a list of all the people he has worked with over the years, and my God, there's everybody is in there, absolutely everybody. Skylar, you're very, very, very welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
A pleasure. So, Skylar, we met only recently, and again, I just want to say thank you very much for being a part of the show. And I think when we met in Spain a few weeks ago, I thought you're first of all, you're a very cool dude, and secondly, I thought your story would be something that would really resonate with the people who listen to the show. So
Yeah.
with that in mind, would you mind, for the people who may not know who you are, give us a little bit of an introduction to yourself?
I'm a social conscious music ambassador. So I teach young people how to write positive lyrics. People are tired of bad news. And we plan we plan to throw concerts, festivals around positive music. And we're looking forward to that. Uh, I've been at this now for 60 years. And, I love traveling. I love meeting new people and introducing my movement to them. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. you know,
Well, the movement you mentioned is music for global change. Um,
that's right.
yeah, which I think is phenomenal. Musicforglobalchange.com is the website, and I was thinking about this earlier on this morning as I was trying to prepare for having our conversation. I always say to people when they come on board, it's just about having a conversation and having a chat with people and telling a story. Because as humans, I think we've been telling stories since we've been sitting around a campfire in caves for thousands of years, and that's how we get a message across from one generation to another. But then also, I was thinking music is very much along the same ways that we spread a message from one generation to another, or share a message through music. And so I thought there was a great sort of synergy between the stories and the music, and then telling stories through music even better again.
Yeah. I mean, it's the number one language in the world. There's not a place on the planet that doesn't have music, you know. But it's always important. What are you saying on top of the music? The music is emotion, and it can put you in different moods, right? But if you're
Mhm.
saying the right words, that enhances everything.
I've never written a song, or ever tried to write a song, but imagine you've probably written thousands and thousands of them over the course of your career. First of all, doing it for over 60 years, you said? That
That's right.
that hardly seems possible looking at you, because you don't seem, you seem much younger than that. That you couldn't possibly be doing it for 60 years.
Oh man, I forgot to dye my hair here. Yeah.
But um, so the process of writing a song is something that I'm fascinated with. How do you go about doing it?
Well, for those that have the gift that they can write songs, uh, I start with what we call the hook, which is the chorus. So I write the theme of what it is, and then I explain how my feelings about it uh, with the verse,
Hmm.
right? So I did research, and it was like over 5 billion love songs. And I said to myself, do we really need another love song? You know, and when I did the research on social conscious song, there was 192 million. So I said to myself, I understand why the platform isn't bigger, and
Mm.
it should be. So I plan to grow the platform with Music for Global Change.
So when you talk about social consciousness music, you're talking obviously good messages and stuff like that. But is there any sort of recurring theme, Skylar, that goes through it, or?
Well, I write music that heals, educates, and solves problems, right? And it's really important. I mean, like I said, with all the love songs, I mean, everybody falls in love sometime, but when you write a song, I've written about the environment, uh, shoot, so many different subjects and issues, right? But I
Mhm.
used to write about like homelessness and all that, right? And today I'm writing about positive music, how we can help each other, how we can make each other smile. You know what I mean? And that's really important. So if I can get people to start writing songs that can change the world, I've
Mhm.
written about women's empowerment, and so many other styles, man, environment, so many other styles, and that's all they have to look at. If there was a way for you to change the world, what would that sound like?
Yeah, I don't know what it would sound like, to be honest. I mean, it's I've been playing around with stuff recently. I obviously you when we spoke, my background or what I'm interested in is mindset, is getting people to think differently in order to something similar, to overcome the challenges that they have and realize that they have the power within them to achieve whatever it is they want to achieve, whether that's in sort of their professional life or their private life or whatever. But it's still about overcoming and thinking differently and doing things differently. So I've been playing around and with AI to come across with some things, and I love the way of trying to get that empowerment, that mindset message across to people in order to help them
Hmm.
to sort of rise up and have belief in themselves. Because I don't know about you, but I think that's one of the problems that there is out there in the world, is that people don't believe enough in themselves. They believe in other people, yeah, but not enough within themselves that they're able to do things.
That's right. A lot of people judge themselves by somebody else's efforts, and they'll go, "I don't know if I can do that." Okay, well, find something you can do.
Mm.
Think about that. What is it something you can do? When I started this, and I said, okay, there's not enough social conscious songs. Let me go find the heroes that have created this kind of songs, like Marvin Gaye and John Lennon,
Mhm.
Bob Marley. There's so many people that write songs that can change us, change our lives, and bring us together. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we need to concentrate on more of that.
I agree. I agree. There's I'm always on the lookout, because it's one thing they always say: bad news sells, good news doesn't sell. And so I'm always on the
Right.
lookout for news sources that are sharing positive news as well. So yeah, definitely for anybody who's listening, the music for global change and what Skylar is doing is something that's really, I think it resonates a lot with me, and the sort of the mission that I'm on a smaller scale. But yes, I love what you're doing. A question for you, Skylar. You said anybody who has the gift of songwriting. Um, when did you realize that you had the gift of songwriting?
When I was about 10 years old, like my mom, my grandmother, and my auntie were all gospel singers, right?
Hmm.
But they sang music for the Lord. So uh, as a youth, I used to be in the choir, you know, and you can listen to the lyrics and you go, wow, okay, I see why they wrote that, right? And
Yeah.
but now the amount, like, I've written thousands of love songs, And I look back on that and I go, why? Why did I do that? You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep up with everybody else. And it's kind of like what you were saying, people, they see something, they go, but I can't do that. Well, you're
Mm.
stopping yourself by just saying something like that. Try something new.
Yeah.
People need to do that. Try, we all got fingers and toes like everybody else, but how do you use your brain?
Yeah.
That's the part. If you
Yeah.
can use your brain to change, bring change around culture, that's going to help our whole situation. And don't be scared to do it. I mean, you know what I mean? And the good thing about it, not a lot of people, 192 million people is not a lot of people when you're looking at there's 8 billion people on the planet,
Hmm.
you know?
There's plenty of opportunity there.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. So,
There, there was I don't, did you ever come across a man called Bob Proctor?
no,
No.
sorry.
Uh, no, no, no. So Bob was I would call him the granddaddy of personal development. And he taught very much a message of about mindset, about using the power of the mind, and breaking it down really simple on how people can actually understand what's going on. Because my sort of tagline I use on everything is understanding is the key to success. When you understand what's happening and you understand how something works, then you can change it, then you can fix it, then you can amend it. Yeah. But just what you said there a second ago about, just do it. Bob used to always say the same thing. He said, just do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? Yeah. That you fail. Yeah.
Right.
So you get
Right.
up and you do something else.
You can only lose once. After you lost, you go, okay, that's not going to happen again. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it takes courage, And I wrote a song with Stevie Wonder's keyboard player. It's called Courage. And I'm going to start the video out with a toddler holding on to the couch. And the parents is only 3 feet away. And they're like, come on, baby, let go of the couch. Come on, come on. Well, that's the first sign of courage is when that baby lets go of that couch. Take a couple of steps and they go, oh, I could do that. I could do that again. And you're on your way, right?
Yeah. That's a message that I love that image because it's such a simple image. And I was just thinking back to I've 2 daughters, Skyler, and when the younger one began to start walking, the very first time she took a step, my wife and I were in the sitting room and we were very happy, and we both looked at each other, and then all of a sudden I heard a boom, and my daughter just fell over and hit her lip here off the side of my chair, and
Yeah.
blood everywhere
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. But it hasn't stopped her. We fail ourselves to success when we're children. We learn how to do everything by trying, first of all, by not being able to do it, by learning how to overcome those challenges that we have, and then by turning around and learning and doing it better. But I think from my perspective, somewhere along the lines that kind of gets lost, that process gets lost, and we think we have to do it perfectly all the time. So my message, like your message, is just do it, just try it. Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
That's the thing. Get over the fear.
Yeah.
Right. And once you do that, you're on your way, But this courage is so many other things too. Like, say you was in a bad relationship and you don't know how to get out. But one day you go, I've had enough. Fear goes away after that, right? You're going for a new job. You don't know what's going to happen when you get up there to talk to the guy. You know what I mean? But you're hoping you're going to say the right thing. And when you do, you know it because he goes, I'm hiring you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you took the chance, right?
Yeah.
And my mom used to say, if you don't take a chance, you won't get one.
That's for sure. That's for sure. There's the other thing as well, people always say, is you get the courage to do the thing you're afraid of by doing the thing that you're afraid of. It's only only by doing it that you're actually going to get the courage to do it.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So just, to me, don't have any fear. Don't be, no terror. None of, don't be scared to try. You can only, if you only lose once, right? You
Mm.
go, okay, that didn't work. Then you will try something else because you want to make sure, okay, you know what? I'm gonna conquer this. Some kind of way I'm going to conquer it, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, just that you mentioned earlier on about your mom and your aunt singing in the gospel choir, and yourself also singing in the choir. Would you say? I always try to talk to people about what is it that inspired them. I talk to an awful lot of entrepreneurs, and to find out what was the spark that started them on that journey when they were it's normally when they're kids. You can normally see the beginning of it when people are small. And there's quite often a family member, whether it's an uncle or an aunt, or a brother or sister or father, somebody older that they look up to, that sort of gives that spark, or that they get that spark from. Would you say your mom and your aunt singing in the choir would have played a big role in you getting into music in the first place? Or
Yeah, and my grandmother, they were
and
my they were my mentors, right? And so I had to go to church almost every single day because they had to go rehearse, you know. And so, I'm 5 years old. How you gonna make a 5-year-old sit there more than 5 minutes? You can't do it, right? So
no,
we were
no,
so
no
bad,
iPads
man.
back then.
Huh?
I said no
Say it again.
iPads back then.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
so the only way my mom could get me to sit still is go put me in the kids choir, you know. And so then she know I wasn't, she was rehearsing. I'm all over the church, man. I'm all up in the pastor's office and everything else. Cause soon as she starts singing, I know she can't get off. She won't be able to get off the stage up there with the choir. And so I just ducked down, and she would tell me, "Boy, if you do that one more time, I'm gonna kick your butt, right?" And so she said, "I know what to do. I'm gonna put him in the choir, the kids choir." And then so I got in the kids choir and I started learning harmony, and it became fun, you know.
Mhm.
And I've been doing it ever since, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so, did you have other brothers and sisters, Skyler, when you were growing up?
yeah. But they wasn't interested in music.
No.
Matter of fact, they was always like, "You ain't gonna be nobody. You need to get a job, right?" I said, "Okay, all right." By the time I got to the Commodores and Sly and the Family Stone, they was like, "I knew you was gonna make it." You know how people are, man. Crazy.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, but that's a story you hear all the time. All right, Jett. Um, cool. So you mentioned the Commodores there. So was that the sort of breakout for you, or had you done stuff before that, Skyler?
Yeah, I've been, I've been in many bands, and many gospel and many jazz bands. But when I replaced Lionel, right, and I'm like 6, 7 years younger than them brothers, right. So they kind of treated me like a kid. Only thing is, it went on a couple of years, and I got to travel. I was only like 22 years old, and that was a lot of fun because every place we got to, there was like 5-star hotels and champagne in my room and all kind of stuff. I'm like, I could do this. This is, I could suffer through this, right? And no, when we started traveling, and the crazy thing, I was wearing Lionel Richie's clothes, and
Okay.
then they tailored them to me. He was just taller than me, but
Hmm.
I always said, man, this dude farther than these clothes. Wait a minute, hold on, this is insane. Talk about taking somebody's place when you wearing their clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
What was life like
Uh,
that? I mean, traveling around, it must get awfully tiring, does it? Or
yeah, man, it's something you got to get used to. It ain't all glamour. You know what I mean? Uh, oh, oh, your camera froze or something.
no, we're good. We're good. I can still hear you.
Oh, there you go. No, it wasn't. It wasn't glamour. Because we fly out in the morning, get to wherever we go in the afternoon, and then we got sound check after that. And you guys go eat, then you go back to the hotel, and then they come back to pick you up to go to the gig. So you didn't get a chance to travel around seeing most of the places where you was going, where
Mhm.
you been. But it sure was nice when got 18,000 people in front of you. You know
Mhm.
that was amazing. I was in China. And I'm singing three times a lady, man, and these people got lighters going. 18,000 people got lighters going side to side like that, and you looking out there to that, man, it was like the most beautiful thing, you know. And to hear those people singing the songs themselves, you you made a you made a powerful inference for them, you
Yeah.
know. And I love performing. Music lovers are the most incredible people in the world, right?
Hmm.
They buy your record, they learn your record, they come to the concert and they sing your record with you. There's nothing like that.
Yeah, true. It's funny you mention that because I used to always think that that must be one of the most amazing feelings ever. That as a singer songwriter, you've put pen to paper, you've written a song, you've designed the music to go along with it, and then you're up on stage in front of thousands of people, and they're all singing it back to you. I mean, that feeling must be absolutely amazing.
It's out of the world. Like 5 minutes, 5 minutes you have them in your hands, right?
Mhm.
And that, and they're like, what do you go sing next? Oh, I know that one too. No, man, it's a beautiful feeling, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And I write for other artists too, not just written for Eddie Murphy and Al Jarreau and Patty Austin and so on, and to have them sing my songs like they're icons themselves. It's
Yeah.
just
I,
beautiful.
I was looking at the list here. And I see Barbara Streisand. I saw Eddie Murphy, and I was like, "Does Eddie Murphy sing?"
Yeah,
I,
he
I
sure
must be
does.
I must be living under a rock because I've never heard of Eddie Murphy
No, he's
as
got a
a
couple
singer.
of albums out.
Serious? Okay.
Yeah, he's got a couple of albums out. Yeah, you could. Yeah. So
I,
you know, he dabbles in everything. You know.
I must check that out because I came across. Do you know? Have you ever heard it? I'm sure you have. Jackie Chan. He was huge. The actor.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
But he's also a massive
Yeah.
recording artist over in China.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either
I
for
didn't know
ages because
that.
I grew up watching Jackie Chan kung fu movies. Only to find out later
Yeah.
he was also like he sings ballads and stuff like that in China, and he's probably as well known in China for as being a singer than he is as being the movie star that we know him for.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, man. Nobody want to give you credit if you have other talents than they know, you know, and they should because people they're not doing just one thing, you know.
Mhm.
So I'm not an actor, but I could probably go pick up something and bring it to somebody else. you know,
You give it a good try, as they say.
I give it a good try, man. If I'm in a hotel, I'll go over and get you a paper and bring it to you. That's star apart, you know.
Yeah. But on the list, just because I have it in front of me, I mean, the names that sort of jump out to me, Diana Ross, Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Jennifer Lopez, Mariah Carey, Tom Jones. Tom Jones is I'm a big fan of Tom Jones. I like him a lot. And then it's just unreal. Michael Bolton, new kids on the block.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Boys to Men.
I love the one with I did one with well, I'm singing background, but I did one with Aretha Franklin and Elton John called
Hmm.
Through the Storm, right? I'm like, damn, I'm getting two icons at once. You know, it was brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. Two for the price of one. That's very cool. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, the what you're working on now, obviously, the music for global change. Um, I know you have your own podcast as well, Skyler, don't you?
That's right. Music for Global Change broadcast.
Okay, and
And
people could
I
find
invite you to
that.
check it out. I got some amazing on YouTube.
Okay,
My website, you could connect to it, but it's on YouTube. Music for Global Change broadcast. And I've had 300 guests on there, easy, right?
mhm.
And I bring on people to tell their story and about tell us about their journey, and what's your feelings about conscious music, excuse me. And some amazing icons been on my show.
I will have to check it out. I haven't had a chance to yet, but I will
Yeah.
certainly be checking it out.
Okay.
The what else was I going to say? The so throughout your career, when did you sort of make that shift from let's say I don't know if it's the right term, but regular music into the social conscious music? When did you decide to make that change?
Well, 46 years ago, I wrote a song with the bass player, the Commodores, and we said we're going to give this money back to all families that's trying to get their kids through college.
Mhm.
And we told them you guys take the proceeds, and then if we can get enough people to buy it, you could help your families, right? And I said to myself, wow, if we can do that, just imagine about all the big icons that's already out there. They can give that money away too and
Mhm.
help people. Uh, but since then, I've written so many songs, all kind of songs. But uh, I'm more excited about what I'm doing now than all them songs I've written for other people.
And are you also musically inclined? Do you also make the music for the song then as well once you've written the lyrics?
Uh, I play just good enough to go have somebody else play it better. You, it's like I can create the bass parts, I can create the guitar parts and keyboard parts. I sing them to whatever instrument, for every instrumentation that I want.
Yeah.
And then I go find the great players and stuff like that and say, hey, play this. I'm gonna sing it to you, and I play this right here, and then I put it all together like that, and some kind of way it makes sense, you know. And then I go put a story on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I'm personally, I'm not musically inclined. I played a keyboard when I was a kid, for a number of years, but that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't progress very far in it, Skyler. And then I bought a guitar. I think it was when I left, finished secondary school. I went and I bought an electric guitar because I thought, that's it. I'm going to be the next electric guitar player. I'm going to be amazing. And then
Yeah.
I started working at the same time, and I was working in the hotel industry, but working behind a bar. And sure, that took up all of my time, and there was no time to
Yeah.
learn to play the guitar. So that's my excuse anyway, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, I've been in music so long. I remember when I was about 12, because I've been playing nightclubs since I was 13. But when I was about 12, and my uncle goes, "Hey man, you really liking this? You liking this music thing, aren't you?" I said,
Mm.
"Yeah, man, I love it." He goes, "Well, let me let you know. It's chicken today and feathers tomorrow.
Was okay. What does
Yeah,
he? What did
you
he
might
mean by
eat
that?
today, but you
Ah,
might
okay.
eat today, because you work for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's a hard gig right there in itself, right? You got to have enough courage to go, and I can't work with somebody else. I got to work for me.
I
So
was listening. I was listening to an interview. There's a guy I follow on TikTok, and he has a TikTok account where he goes around. A young chap. He's only like 23 or 24. He's in the US, and he goes around interviewing millionaires and billionaires, etc., in order to get their perspective and their advice to the younger generation on how to be successful, specifically in business. Yeah. And he was interviewing a guy that I saw earlier on, and the guy says, well, he was a billionaire, yeah. And the guy said, well, he said, I figured out that I had to be self-employed. He said, because nobody would employ me. He goes, I'm a lunatic, you know. He says it is very smart in that he knows the people that he needs to do particular jobs for him. But he's not the sort of person who would work for somebody else, and it's a different sort of mindset, isn't it? It's a different way of thinking when you're, as let's say, like you're self-employed, and as a musician, you either, as you said, eat or don't eat.
yeah, I tried working a regular job 6 times, right?
Okay.
And they didn't last. The job didn't last 6 months because I can't tell, I can't help people. You like, how am I gonna help you? And I don't want to be here neither. You know, you know what I mean? And then, I hated taking direction from other people. Go do that. Go do that. I couldn't see myself working a regular job, man.
Mm.
And so, I had to go back and starve and everything else, trying to get somebody to notice what I was doing. You know, it takes a long time. It's not overnight. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And on that journey, Skyler, from there to, let's say, in your own mind, having made it, because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's as long as when you think that you've made it and you're happy. How did you keep going? Like how did you push yourself to continue to go through?
I wouldn't find people that I want to be like. You know, like, and how'd you get that job? You know, and it's a lot of luck. You know, it's a lot of luck. You have to go find people. You go, okay, wait, let me go study what they did. You know, and okay, look at all these radio stations that they're on, and they're at the top of the radio station. All these people are trying to get to their spot.
Yeah.
What do they have to do? Firemen hang out with firemen. Construction workers hang out with construction. You got to go find the people that you want, and then go ask them. So, is there any information you can give me about trying to get to the top of my game, myself, and this is what I want to do? Some people will help you, and then some people are like, man, get out of my way, kid. You know what I mean? That's cold blooded. I'm always teaching young people. I'm always teaching young people, and I'm glad now that they're feeling like I might want to write some positive lyrics. The cool thing is when they do, they go, "Hey, Skyler," and it's something about the way they say, "Hey, Skyler." I already know that they started on a song, right? And they go, my friends like it too, and that's when they keep going. See?
Yeah. How I mean, it must be a phenomenal challenge. And I know I'm bouncing from one thing to another, but just when you say about kids writing positive songs, because they're bombarded with lyrics in songs today, in the popular songs, be that in, you know, pop music or rap or whatever genre it is, that is anything but positive. A lot of negative and a lot of glorification of gangster and, you know, all that sort of stuff, and that seems to be the kind of stuff that sells. So you must have your work cut out for you to get people to switch and to change to that more positive outlook.
Yeah, I remember there was a woman that wanted to help me back home. She said, I really love what you're doing. I said, what do you do? She said, I do rap. I said, is there any cussing in the rap? She said, yeah. I said, well, I can't work with
Hmm.
you, right? And then my wife, you know, she was like, well, come over to my wife's from here. She said, come over here. Let's go over here, right? And we got over here, man, and it's taking off for me. People get me. They get me, you know. I'm a partner in a magazine. What does that say? Do you want to something on my Mac? Okay. Uh, you know, I'm a partner in a magazine in Ireland. And what was so cool is I wrote the woman that owns the magazine. I wrote her a tune because I like what she stood for. It's called equality. And if you look at my mission statement, I talk about equality, right? So I wrote her a song, and she was blown away by that. She goes, I'm going to give you 25% of my business. I'm like, you know, I didn't ask you for that. You know, I was doing this because I like what you was trying to do for people. Mm-hmm. She said, no, I'm giving you 25%. She says, not only that, Skyler, I'm going to take your shows, your interviews, and I'm going to put them to print, you know, transcribe them. And it's really wonderful because, you know, you get a whole nother, you know, somebody's in a barbershop or a beauty parlor and they reading about my story, and, you know, that encourages them to go to my show. So it's really wonderful, you know. But people get me over here. There's 300 million Americans, but there's 960 million Europeans. You can have all Americans. You can have all them. Give me the 960. If I had a dollar from every one of them, I could go on vacation for the rest of my life.
I bet you wouldn't, though, would you?
No. You know, I just turned 70, and that's my dream, is to go travel, man, and go. Because, like I said, I was going on the road with the Commodores, but you never go anywhere. You just go to the hotel, you go to the venue, and then back to the hotel, and then on the plane. So I didn't get to see anything. You know what I mean? It's a trip, because when I went to Spain this time, where you and I met, that was cool, but I didn't get to go see anything. But the hotel and when we went out to eat and stuff, you know, I didn't get to see the rest of the country. And I want to do that. I want to go back.
Spain is a fascinating place, but yeah, I on a much smaller scale, Skyler, I can resonate with that, because in my career I've traveled to different cities for conferences, and you see the airport, the hotel, and the conference center, and then the hotel and the airport again as you go back. You know, you might get out, as you said, for a dinner in the evening time, but you haven't really been to the city. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody goes, tell me some of the places you went. You tell them. You say, but I didn't get to see it. That's crazy, man.
So is that your bucket list, or your list now for later on in life, is to travel around to the places where you've been and actually see some of them again and actually experience them properly?
Exactly. Before I moved from California over here, a friend of mine said, Scott, I got to take you out on my boat. I said, but we're packing. I can't. He said, no, I have to. I'm coming to get you. I'm going to take you on my boat. And we get on the boat, and he drives it right under the Golden Gate Bridge. And he turns the motor off. And he goes, I brought you out here because I wanted to tell you that my brother died yesterday. But there was a message he wanted me to give to you. And he said, my brother said he had all the money that he wanted, a few houses and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But he asked God, he said, God, I'd give it all back if you let me go see everything that I haven't seen yet. And he
Mm.
brought me out there to say that to me, right? Go see everything that you can. You know what I mean? It's worth more money than more money. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, all the waterfalls, everything. Like, I want to see it all.
As a powerful message, because the what we hear a lot of the time in the media and especially in social media, etc., is the pictures of the Lambos, the pictures of the cars, and the pictures of all the houses and all that sort of stuff. And I think that appeals to. It might have appealed to 20-something-year-old me, but it doesn't appeal to
Right.
me at the moment. Yeah, at the moment for me, it would be very much like what you're saying: is what can I see, what can I experience, where can I visit, in order to expand the mind and to learn more.
Just to go see things, man, that you've never seen before, right?
Yeah.
That's fascinating to me. I love it, and I want to go do more of it. My son is about to graduate high school, and so my wife and I, that's what we're going to do. We're gonna go travel. You're supposed to enjoy life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I'm 70. Hopefully I get another 25, 30 years on the planet, but I won't be sitting in front of the TV. I won't be sitting there watching life go by me.
No, that's my goal as well. I said I'm going to live it until I'm 100.
Yeah,
I've an uncle of mine over in San Diego in California, and Hans is his name, and he is big into nutrition and big into sort of living a healthy life, because the
yeah,
object is to die young, as late in life as possible.
right, right.
Yeah. So that you're you're
Well,
you're not you're not 90 and sitting in a wheelchair and whatever, that you can't move. You're still active, you're still enjoying life, and you're still able to experience.
yeah. My uncle he's my last uncle on both sides of my family. He's
Hmm.
92 years old. And I said, Unc, what's the secret? He said, keep it moving.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There was on I have you ever been to Ireland, Skyler, in your travels?
Yeah, my I'm a partner in a magazine,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
uh, in Newcastle.
Down in Limerick.
I was just there six I was just there 6 months ago. We have an event uh, at a hotel there.
Hmm.
It's in November, right?
Very good.
And Johnny Depp and Robert Downey Jr. They have this hotel there. We're going to have because our magazine is about events and fashion and music,
Hmm.
right? So we'll be there in November, and it's really wonderful, man. I mean, like I love her concept of equality. I mean, it could be people with one leg or whatever, and she puts these amazing clothes on top of them, and all we're looking for is that spirit that they have. You know, it's really wonderful, and fashion is amazing. Everybody wants to be seen, right? Uh, but then we mix a little music in there and it's art, a lot of beautiful art, you know.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that in November.
What's the name of the event?
Oh, World Equal.
Okay.
It's called World Equal. That's the name of the magazine too. You can go to well, it's on my website too. You can go there
Okay.
and you'll see it.
Well, what I'll do is in the description I'll put links to your website and to the event and stuff like that. So if anybody's listening and is interested in finding out more, they'll be able to get the information.
That's great, man. But thanks for having me.
No, a
Really, really
pleasure. A
cool.
pleasure. I'm conscious of your time, Skyler. So we'll begin to, as they say, bring it in for a landing.
Yeah.
Just as we're closing up, a couple more questions. One, if you were to get in a time machine and go back to Skyler Jr. when you were a little bit younger, let's say, what advice, if any, would you give to yourself?
Well, more traveling. You know, travel more, enjoy your life, enjoy, smile and have fun, and pass that off to somebody else. All constantly.
Yeah.
But find something that you want to do in life. I don't care if it's being a fireman, whatever. Be the best at it. Find something you want to do with your life, and then go find somebody that can teach you how to, well, at least mentor you. You know, and with anything that you want to do. But just don't. You can't just sit around and then 40 years later, what I think I want to do? That's too late. You know, that's too late. Go, do it while your legs is moving. You know, that you see people get a job and they're there for 40 years and they go into the coffee room together every day and they talk about what was on TV last night and all that. Come on now, right? And then they finally retire and they go, okay, baby, let's go to Europe. Let's go somewhere. And they get over here and they go, damn, I wish I would have came over here when I was younger, when my legs was moving. Yeah. Don't do that. Go now. Take the chance, right? Have the courage.
That's great advice. That's great advice. There's a Wayne Dyer is somebody that I used to listen to an awful lot of, and he's passed now a few years, but he also wrote a load of books. And one of the sayings that really sort of struck home with me from him was, "Don't die with your music still inside of you," to actually to just exactly what you're saying. Do the thing, get out there and do it. That's awesome. And speaking of books, I read a lot of, I would call them motivational books or books about how the mind works and stuff like that. Is there any particular book that you've read over your life that sort of had an impact on you?
Not really with books, but I do have a book out right now with Sly Stone's sister. It's called Blood is Thicker Than the Mud, right? And it talks about the life of Sly and the Family Stone before they were famous, right? And I have a couple of chapters in that book, but it goes to show you, man. I mean, it took me 7 years to make that happen, to help Sly come back out, and it was a journey. Because when I was trying to do it, people was telling me I was crazy. It ain't gonna happen. I said, okay, go to Google. You find out it happened, didn't it? I don't let people tell me I can't do something. That motivates me even more. So go get whatever you want. Put your eyes on it. If you see it and believe it, you can achieve it. I believe that.
Yeah. I believe it completely, and it's true. I've seen it happen so many different times. I talk to people all the time who have used that simple process in order to achieve whatever it is that they wanted to achieve. So I know it's the truth. And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Skyler, it's been a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very, very much for giving up your time.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you, man. When you finish with this, join my Music for Global Change broadcast Facebook page. It'd be great for you to put this on there, because for my fans that's joining up and the movement and stuff like that. So hey, thanks so much, and love to your wife, man. I remember sitting there at dinner with you guys, man, and that was fun, bro. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay.
It was great fun. Right, thank you. Thank you again. Cheers,
Namaste.
Skyler.
Namaste. Okay, brother.